engine roared, tearing through the quiet street. I gripped the handlebars tightly, feeling the tires screeching on the road.
Find her at all costs. If not, the boss will kill us!
The headlights from the motorcycles of the black-clad men behind me flickered in the rearview mirror. I gritted my teeth, revved the engine, determined not to let them catch up.
Boss lady! Boss lady!
Hi, I'm Veronica, 16 years old, growing up in a powerful gangster family. My dad is a notorious kingpin of an organization that controls real estate across the region, and my brother Kevin is his right-hand man. I'm the apple of the family's eye, which means I have everything. At school, I'm the queen bee. Whenever students see me, they part like the Red Sea, and there's always someone willing to do my homework. However, I have my own troubles. No one dares to confess their feelings for me. They like me, but are scared off by my dad and brother. The only exception is Travis, the one my family approves of. His dad is my dad's business partner, also a well-known gangster, but now in prison. Travis adores me, but I only see him as an older brother. For the past 2 months, I've been secretly dating this guy, Jack. He's my first love. For our 2-month anniversary, I decided to be romantic and bought a cake to surprise him at his house. But when I got there, I saw Jack making out with another girl. Jack! How could you?
Please don't tell your family! They'll kill me! I beg you!
Coward! I went home heartbroken to find Kevin lounging on the sofa. He boasted that he'd heard the news and had already dealt with Jack for me. What? Ugh, I stormed up to my room. Why do they always act on their own? Now look, people only listen to us out of fear, not respect or love. If this continues, I'll grow old and never find true love. No, I need to change. I searched online for some girly outfits and watched some ladylike etiquette courses, but oh my gosh, gross. Frustrated, I stormed out on my motorbike, not forgetting to throw an angry comment at my dad and Kevin. I'm sick of this family! I gripped the handlebars and sped off, but soon my dad's henchmen were on my tail. I couldn't let them catch me. I revved the engine and turned into an alley, but hit a dead end. I ditched the bike and ran as fast as I could. Suddenly, someone grabbed me and pulled me into a dark corner.
I'll save you.
What? Who are you? He pressed me against the wall and kissed me. The henchman rushed past without noticing us, his broad frame hiding me. You have to take responsibility for kissing me.
I'm sorry, I just saw it in the movies. I don't have anything to pay you back.
I couldn't help but laugh, finding this guy adorable and clumsy. Stay with me. That's enough. I ended up telling him about Jack and my messed up love story. Coincidentally, he had just broken up with his girlfriend too. Do you think I'm too aggressive?
Yes, no, you're fine.
I think I need to change myself to find love.
Love doesn't mean changing who you are. I tried to change, but my girlfriend still left. Just be yourself, but a better version.
In that moment, I felt my heart flutter a bit. This nerd was surprisingly deep. Our conversation was interrupted by his phone ringing.
I have to go now.
Let me give you a ride. Ignoring his protests, I lifted him onto my bike. I sped down the road, his face frozen in fear, unable to speak. Silly guy.
What's wrong with you?
You just gave me some hope. I'm tired of being a Mafia princess.
What? You're what?
Ever heard of Mr. Sanchez? That's my dad. Then he suddenly insisted on getting off the bike and ran into a narrow alley before I could chase after him. I looked down and saw a name tag on the ground. Archie, 17 years old, West Point High School? Same school as me? That's fate. He's gotta be mine. The next morning, I tracked down his class using the name tag. You're Archie, right? I'm Veronica. Don't even think about running away. I want you to be my friend. Actually, my boyfriend.
No way. We're too different.
Yesterday you told me to be myself. Now you're backing out? What the waffles? Want to get punched? Seeing Archie all scared, I decided to switch up my strategy the next day. I had my lackeys at school bring food to Archie, even making me feed him. But uh-oh, I didn't know Archie was allergic to peanuts and now his face was all puffed up like a chipmunk. Another time, I staged a fake bullying scene so I could swoop in and play the hero. Everything was going smoothly until one of them actually kicked me.
Boss, did we do it right?
These idiots. I struggled to get up, but Archie quickly helped me.
Why go to such lengths? I was going to ask you out for coffee to thank you for all the food you sent. How about Saturday?
Is this a confession? Maybe not. Who cares? We met at Baskin-Robbins and oh my gosh, Archie was so sweet. He asked about my family, my dad's hobbies, my brother's interests, and mine. While we were eating, we both reached for a spoon at the same time and our hands touched. I noticed Archie blushing, but he quickly pulled his hand back. Aw, is this a good sign or what? And there's something else. Everywhere I went, I seemed to bump into Archie. At parties with my friends, on my way home, and even at the grocery store. We must be destined for each other. So the next day I went big. I got on the school stage and announced over the loudspeaker, "Hey everyone, from today on, Archie Murphy is my boyfriend, and no one is allowed to touch him." But before I could finish, Archie dragged me to a corner.
Why do you always make decisions on your own? Is that how your family always imposes on others? This is unbelievable!
I was speechless, a wave of shame washing over me. Tears streamed down my face. I ran behind the school and cried under a tree until it started raining.
You dummy, we're not done talking.
He sat down next to me and draped his jacket over us. "Why are you here? You yelled at me. You were so loud."
I care about you.
Fake! I tried to pull away, but he grabbed my hand.
I've liked you since the day we met. It's just that I felt insecure because your family's so powerful. I was scared I wasn't good enough for you.
He pulled me close and kissed me. The guy I liked kissed me. Aren't you scared of my gangster family?
Scared of gangsters? Yes, but I'm more scared of losing you.
We ran in the rain and it seemed to wash away all my earlier sadness. From that day on, we became a couple. Archie and I texted every day and met during breaks just to exchange a quick kiss. One day, he invited me to the bar where he worked. I didn't know this nerdy guy was a part-time bartender. So cool. That night, I dressed up nicely and went to the bar. And there were Kevin and Travis. Panicking, I was about to turn and leave when Archie called out,
"Hey, babe!"
I wanted to sink into the ground.
Veronica? You're Archie's girlfriend?
Thankfully, Kevin didn't object. He said he was a regular at the bar and had talked to Archie many times, so he knew Archie was a good guy. The only one upset was Travis.
So, that's why you've been ignoring my messages, huh?
He stormed off. What else could I do? One day, I was home alone. I was dozing off when I heard the sound of a door being forced open in the next room. I quietly got out of bed and was shocked to see someone rummaging through the room. Without hesitation, I charged at him, using all my strength to attack. One solid punch knocked him to the ground. I turned on the light and couldn't believe my eyes. Archie? Archie, why are you here? That's when I discovered my boyfriend's true identity. Archie was an undercover agent investigating my family.
Your dad is involved in a major smuggling operation, and I was assigned to investigate.
What? My dad? Smuggling? No way! From our first meeting to all those coincidental encounters I thought were fate, it was all a setup, wasn't it?
Yes, I approached you initially to gather information. But Veronica...
Get out, Archie. I don't want to see you ever again. Archie stood there looking at me for a long moment before silently leaving. I slammed the door shut behind him, tears streaming down my face. My love and trust had been betrayed so cruelly. I avoided Archie at all costs. We became strangers. Not long after, my dad and Kevin were arrested, but before being taken away, he insisted he was innocent. Only Travis was there quietly comforting me.
See? I warned you about that Archie guy. 20 kilograms of contraband. That's a hefty sentence.
How do you know it's 20 kilograms? The police haven't officially announced it.
I heard it from a confidential source.
Something didn't feel right. It seemed like Travis was hiding something from me. That night, unable to sleep with all the thoughts swirling in my head, I went for a walk in the yard and heard someone talking. What do I do now? Erase all the security footage from this month? I'm scared. It was Dad's accountant. She looked terrified, shaking like a leaf. Something was definitely off. I dashed over and snatched the phone, but the call had already ended. Spill it. Who were you talking to? I'm so sorry. I was threatened. He made me put the smuggling documents in your dad's cabinet and delete all the security footage from his office, or else he would expose me for embezzlement. I don't want to go to jail. I have kids. I was wrong. Please forgive me. Who is he? Tell me everything. I don't know. We only talked over the phone. We met once in person at a stall in the market. Following her directions, I hurried to the market. Walking in, I couldn't believe my eyes. Travis was standing there. I can't believe it! My family trusted you!
Oh, so you found out. No need to keep pretending then.
But why? Why would you do this?
Are you serious? Playing dumb, huh? Your dad's the one who put my father in jail.
What are you talking about? Your dad brought it on himself.
Shut up!
I tried to slap him back, but he grabbed my wrist.
Alright, you have two choices. Marry me and we'll start over, or die here.
I choose neither! I fought back, kicking him hard, but he was too strong, knocking me out quickly. I stared at the deceitful scumbag in front of me, feeling helpless and choked with anger. Sorry, Dad. Sorry, Kevin. I failed you.
That's enough!
Archie appeared out of nowhere like a hero, kicking Travis to the ground. They fought, but Archie's skills as an agent gave him the upper hand, and he managed to tie Travis up.
I think the perfect place for you is jail. I won't let this slide! I swear!
Ignoring his threats, Archie came over to me gently.
Are you okay, Veronica?
How did you know to come here?
After your dad was arrested, I felt something was off, so I decided to investigate on my own, without my superior's orders. And I was worried about you, so I followed you here.
Travis was sentenced soon after, and thankfully Dad and Kevin were cleared of all charges. All thanks to Archie. Needless to say, Dad and Kevin couldn't stop praising Archie, constantly calling him their future son-in-law. And it came true.
Aren't you curious who your future husband really is? An agent? A nerd? Or something else? You used to ask me that every day.
Stop talking and kiss me already. Like always, I begged my dad to let me take the controls during our flight training sessions with his new aircraft.
Not now, Abby.
He always said that. Seizing the moment when he wasn't paying attention, I decided to jump in and grab the controls. The plane suddenly wobbled and dove straight towards the ground. Luckily, Dad regained control just in time.
Abigail, what were you thinking? Do you know how dangerous that was?
I'm sorry, Dad. I just wanted to try it once.
A pilot must always be fully prepared and focused. You can't just try things on a whim.
I get it. Being a pilot is hard. Maybe I should be a famous model like Mom instead. Hey MDA viewers, I'm Abigail, 16 years old from Birmingham, England. Please like and subscribe. I inherited my love for the sky from my dad. Since I was a kid, I joined him on flights and learned a ton about piloting. After a few reckless attempts, I finally succeeded in flying a plane by myself at 10 years old. My parents were so proud of me. Our family was incredibly happy until Mom had to leave us to pursue her modeling career in France. She hasn't visited home in years and only contacts me through a few emails. Since Mom left, Dad became a completely different person. He banned me from wearing makeup, dyeing my hair, all the normal things my friends did.
You call that a shirt? Change it now. Why dye your hair like a unicorn? You're not allowed.
Bare face, teddy bear t-shirt, and jeans. That's the look Dad preferred when I go to school. And of course, the mean girls never missed a chance to mock me. If Mom were here, she'd dress me in stylish clothes and help me with my makeup. Unlike Dad. One morning on my way to school, I took advantage of the early hour to pop into Ulta. This place was a paradise for teenage girls. I had to stop by daily to gaze and dream about buying makeup someday. While browsing the shelves, an idea suddenly sparked. The testers! Why hadn't I thought of them before? I picked a few tester items to do my makeup, then let my hair down and posed for a selfie. Within seconds, I barely recognized the beautiful girl in the mirror. Oh, I wanted to wear makeup every day. Just then, a well-dressed woman approached and looked me up and down. She handed me a business card, and it was a talent manager from a modeling agency? Do you want to become a famous model? I couldn't believe it! I eagerly told Dad about it later. But instead of the excitement I expected, Dad's face hardened at the word model.
No, Abby. Don't get involved in that job. You have to get good grades and get into college. And that's all.
What? But Dad, I want to try! I'm 16 already. Ever since Mom left, you always…
I said no, and I mean it. Mention this again, and you'll regret it.
Dad was so unreasonable. No way I was missing this golden opportunity. In my frustration, I kicked a can on the road. To my horror, it hit a fancy parked car nearby, leaving a long scratch on its shiny body. I froze, heart pounding with fear. Then a dapper young man stepped out of the car.
That's a big scratch, miss.
Oh my gosh, I'm sorry. I'll pay for it.
Pay for it? Do you know how much this car is worth?
I glanced at the Mercedes logo and swallowed hard, my teeth chattering.
Forget it. You couldn't afford it even if you sold your house. Just my bad luck today.
He waved me off like a bug, slammed his car door, and drove off. What a rude guy! After days of thinking, I decided to accept the modeling internship offer. Of course, I kept it a secret from Dad. On the day of my first photo shoot, I was both excited and nervous. As I walked through the parking lot, I stopped by a car window to check my reflection. Everything was fine until the window rolled down.
You again?
It was the owner of the Mercedes I had scratched. Holy moly, I could only hang my head in shame as he walked past. He was Chandler, a highly sought-after model known for being aloof and hard to approach. How on earth did we end up paired for a photo shoot together right after that incident?
I know working with someone as handsome as me can be distracting, but could you pose a bit less awkwardly? The photographer is picky.
Thanks, but it seems you're the one with the problem.
Both of you, there's no chemistry. Can you do it or not?
In this desperate situation, I decided to set my ego aside. I leaned back like in a dance pose and wrapped my arm around Chandler's neck, pulling him close. Chandler's eyes widened in surprise, then he quickly adjusted his expression to match the pose. I couldn't deny it. Up close, he was breathtakingly handsome. I bet that was the best and most emotional shot of the entire session! The shoot was a smashing success, and even Chandler nodded approvingly.
Impressive, newbie, but you've got a lot to learn. You know, I could help you improve your poses and expressions for better photos. How about we exchange numbers?
Look at Mr. Smug, who was just mocking me a few minutes ago. Anyway, I did need his help and experience. Sure, why not? And so, we became partners. Chandler did a complete 180 from the terrible first impression I had of him. He was gentle and attentive, guiding me through every little detail during shoots. Thanks to him, my skills improved, my confidence grew, and I started getting more modeling offers. And undeniably, we began to develop feelings for each other over time. But secrets don't stay hidden forever. One day, after I had just finished my makeup in the school restroom and was about to dash to the studio, I bumped into Dad. He immediately frowned, noticing the makeup on my face. The jig was up, and Dad dragged me home right away.
You're grounded! For a week! Don't say I didn't warn you!
It turned out Dad had seen my photos in a magazine by chance and rushed to school to find me. I felt guilty, but also very angry. I was 16. He couldn't keep treating me like a child forever. With my phone confiscated, I couldn't contact Chandler, but somehow he managed to get my home address and came to find me. Poor Chandler, it wasn't me who opened the door.
Who are you? What do you want?
I'm here to see Abby. I'm her senior.
I poked my head out of the window, waving frantically to get Chandler's attention. Classmate! We're classmates!
Senior? Like an upperclassman?
Yes, that's right.
I breathed a sigh of relief, but just then, my foot slipped off the window ledge. Both Dad and Chandler rushed over and caught me just in time. Chandler got a minor injury on his forearm, but thanks to that, Dad allowed him inside to talk. Despite our best efforts to convince him, Dad remained firm. He only allowed me to finish the last photo shoot contract I had signed. But life always throws unexpected twists my way. Guess who showed up at what I thought would be my final shoot? Abigail, where's my little princess? Mom! After more than 5 years of only emailing, we had a long heart-to-heart. Mom was indignant and decided to talk to Dad about how he was hindering my future. Their conversation seemed tense, not like a reunion at all. I wondered if there was something I didn't know. Mom rescued me from Dad's restrictions. After that, I started attending major events with her as a model and became noticeably more famous. My social media followers skyrocketed. Instead of mocking me, the mean girls now begged for my autograph. This was awesome! However, the more I hoped to become a famous model like Mom, the more distant I felt from Dad. It had been a long time since we last flew together. Sometimes I missed the sky, and the clouds too. But the busy life of a famous model swept me away. One evening, Mom approached me with an intriguing proposal. Abigail, come to France with me. It's the perfect place to advance your modeling career. I was excited, but also hesitant. France was a dream for any model, but it meant leaving everything familiar behind, including Dad. When Dad heard the news, he went silent as if accepting it, but I could see the sadness filling his eyes. I had no one else to turn to but Chandler for advice.
This is a great opportunity, Abby, and I'll support whatever decision you make, but think it through carefully.
Then Chandler told me about how his family had forced him to take over the family business. He rebelled and followed his passion, but it completely shattered his relationship with his dad.
Talk to your dad. Understand him and let him understand you. Then decide.
Chandler's words made me ponder, but Mom didn't give me much time. She quickly prepared for us to leave for France as if everything was already set in stone. The evening before our departure, I saw Dad sitting sadly, looking at our photos when I was a kid. I missed those days too. But living with Dad now just made me feel stifled and suffocated. After flying to France with Mom on her private jet, I was so awestruck I couldn't close my mouth when I saw her huge mansion that looked like a castle. Just then, a well-dressed man stepped out of the house. Before I could ask, Mom ran over and hugged him tightly. Then they shared a passionate kiss? Mom introduced him as her boyfriend, one of the wealthiest tycoons in France. What? Since when have you two been together?
Listen, Abigail, that's in the past and I don't want to talk about it. But you see, your dad couldn't give us this life. Without this man, I wouldn't have my career either.
No, I'm not like you. I won't abandon Dad. You don't need me either, right? You only want to take me now that I'm becoming a successful model.
Stop talking nonsense, Abigail. You have an important event to attend this afternoon.
Disappointment filled me. I suddenly understood that Dad might have known that Mom betrayed us and left forever, but hid it from me to avoid tarnishing her image in my eyes. That's why he was so harsh with her that day. I decided to confront Mom after the event and return to England. That evening, as I stepped down the red carpet with Mom, I got some shocking news.
Abby, your dad is running a high fever. I just took him to the hospital.
I was so stunned I couldn't think straight and dashed off the red carpet. Desperately figuring out the quickest way back to England, I remembered Mom's jet parked nearby. Just then, her bodyguards started chasing me. Without hesitation, I kicked off my high heels, threw them at their faces, and sprinted to the jet. I took a deep breath, remembered the days flying with Dad, and confidently grabbed the controls. The jet slowly ascended into the sky. The first few minutes were turbulent, but I recalled Dad's words, stayed focused, and soon got the hang of it. Finally, I safely landed back in England. I ran to the hospital as fast as I could. Dad, are you okay? I'm so sorry for everything.
Abby, I'm sorry too. Please, understand that I never wanted to restrict you. It's just, I was afraid you'd end up like your mom. I didn't want my little pilot to grow up and leave me one day.
No, Dad. No matter what I do or who I become, I'll always be your daughter. Nothing can change that. We hugged tightly. In that moment, I realized that no fame or success could replace the love and support from Dad. Someone who, despite his strictness and prickliness, always wanted the best for me. Dad's health gradually improved. I was ready to give up modeling, but surprisingly, Dad encouraged me to continue pursuing my dream. He even promised to attend my first fashion show.
You should thank Chandler. He put in a lot of effort convincing me. Looks like my daughter had someone who cares for her, huh?
Dad, don't say that. It's embarrassing. Oh, I hadn't even dared to tell him that Chandler had just confessed to me at dinner on the beach last night.
The prince, enchanted by the beauty of the sleeping princess. Can the kiss of true love awaken her? He slowly leans in.
Why is he taking so long? I can't wait any longer. I wrap my arms around his neck and we kiss. Oops,
Forgot we were in the middle of a play.
but who can blame me when my crush and I get to play this scene together? Hello, I'm Sierra, someone who never hesitates to chase the love of her life. And that's why my love life is quite a roller coaster of laughs and tears. Before we dive in, don't forget to like and subscribe to MDA. Nowhere I've been could ever be as big and beautiful as my family's mansion in the San Francisco Bay. It makes sense since my parents are wealthy business tycoons known all around. I bet some people think, just another dumb rich kid. But nuh-uh, I've never slipped from the top of my class. In high school, I was directly admitted to one of the elite schools filled with notable rich kids. Meet Daisy, my best friend. Believe it or not, her family owns a gold mine. My life has nothing to complain about, except for one issue, me. That move was totally unexpected, Sierra. Where did you find the courage to do that? I just went crazy, I guess. But I really like him, though he didn't seem too comfortable, did he? People often tell me I'm too forward and enthusiastic when I like someone, sometimes making the boys feel overwhelmed. I think, how would they know if you don't show your feelings? But in the end, all my budding romances never lead anywhere. Most recently was when I met this guy, Robert. Jeez Louise. He shone like a second sun. I knew I was struck by love at that moment. As always, I didn't miss any chance to get close to him. Stalking his Instagram and sending him goodnight texts, buying breakfast and placing it on his desk, or sneaking into his lab class and just becoming his partner. Occasionally, he'd send a goodnight text back or thank me for the breakfast. Robert definitely noticed me. Then one day, he approached me with the sweetest strawberry milk ever.
My arm's so sore after volleyball practice today, and I can't even lift it. And now I have to carry this huge box of books down to the storage room.
Oh, no problem, Robert. Let me help you. I guessed afterward, Robert would ask me out as a thank you, and finally, my love life would look up. But then...
Kiara? She's easy. Doesn't take much to win her over. I tell her to jump, she asks how high.
My blood boiled in rage. I hurled the box of books straight at Robert and his friends. You jerk! I turned and walked away, vowing to make him regret ever underestimating me. Then suddenly, someone stood right in front of me, causing me to almost bump into him. He had AirPods in and was buried in a book. I tried to dodge, but he stubbornly wouldn't move aside. Are you blind? Can't you see to move out of the way?
Oh, I'm sorry. Please, don't cry.
I kept crying, and it wasn't until after I'd eaten 3 ice creams he bought me that I began to calm down. That's when I learned his name was Carter. After hearing the whole story between me and Robert, Carter made an incredibly unexpected offer.
How about this? I'll pretend to date you to make that Robert guy jealous. In return, help me get straight A's this semester so I can get a scholarship. I know you're really smart, Kiara. Deal?
Carter's weird but totally legit proposal got the thumbs up right then and there. Boom! I had a boyfriend overnight! Daisy was totally gobsmacked when she met the new friend, so I spilled the whole saga to her.
What? That jerk actually said that about you? Heck no! Robert always acts all saintly, but he's really just trash!
And then Daisy dropped a bombshell of her own.
Hey, if you and Carter aren't serious, how about hooking me up with him? He seems pretty cool. It's a win-win. Robert will be on his knees begging for your forgiveness, and who knows, maybe me and Carter could be a thing. I'm getting even more pumped for prom.
I was all in. All I cared about was making Robert regret everything. If he even tries to ask me to prom, I'll shoot him down in a heartbeat. Me and Carter started scheming to show up everywhere Robert could see us, grabbing lunch at the canteen, flirting in front of his locker, and walking home together. Gotta admit, our acting wasn't half bad. It was like we were actually an item. Turns out Carter and I clicked more than I expected. We could chat about nothing all day and never get bored. None of the guys I chased before ever tied my shoes, carried my books, or held my hand crossing the street, like Carter did. And weirdly enough, butterflies started fluttering inside me. But I couldn't forget my deal with Daisy. I thought playing matchmaker would be easy, but my feelings were turning into a real cat and dog fight. Honestly, I didn't want any of this. Oh, fancy meeting you here. Wasn't that scene just a heart stopper? My bad. Woohoo! Let's hear you scream! Oops, sorry. Just chasing this grasshopper. Bye, Carter.
What's up with you, Sierra? There hasn't been a single date without you crushing it.
It's just coincidence. I didn't plan it.
Come on out with it. You like Carter, don't you?
My heart skipped a beat like Daisy just stabbed me. No way, that's crazy. Trust me, we're just pretending to annoy Robert. Daisy let it slide, but what if she was right? I couldn't stop thinking about Carter every time I saw him. One day while studying with Carter, he suddenly leaned really close. Holy moly, I could feel his breath on my cheek. My heart was racing as I looked into his bright, twinkling eyes. And then, Carter gently picked a leaf out of my hair. No way, I'm totally falling for him. The prom announcements were starting to circulate around school. I suddenly realized I hadn't thought about Robert in ages, even now as I saw him inviting another girl to prom. Had I really wasted my time on something so pointless?
Kiara, I was wondering, would you like to be my prom mate?
I was dying to say yes, but my head held me back. I'm sorry, Carter. I can't. You should ask Daisy, right?
Kiara, are those your real feelings?
Instead of answering, I just ran away. As prom day drew near, everyone else seemed hyped, but I was just not feeling it.
Let's see. Which dress matches my new nail color? Maybe go big this year and get one custom made? What do you think, Sierra?
Well, I think I might skip prom this year.
What the fudge? It's only once a year, Sierra! You can't be serious!
I don't know. I'm just not up for it.
Did you know Carter just got a scholarship? He's prepping for study abroad plans next month.
Carter hadn't mentioned anything to me. Maybe this is where it all ends. Really? Good for him.
Gosh, where's that fiery girl who boldly chases after her crush? Why are you acting like this? It's obvious you like Carter, but you won't admit it.
What are you talking about? I don't. I just hooked him up with you. Alright, I get it. Listen, Sierra, Carter told me from the start he liked you. You think that deal about straight A's was real? Carter could ace that blindfolded. It was just an excuse to be close to you, you dummy. Daisy, but you... I don't like Carter that much, Sierra. He's just hot, so I was curious. I wanted to see how you'd react. Never thought the princess who boldly kissed her prince back in the day would be so shy now. I knew what I had to do. At the prom, stepping into the hall, I immediately spotted that jerk Robert.
Well, you look sweet today. Long time no see, huh? Wanna dance with me?
No, stay away from me. Suddenly, someone grabs Robert's arm and pushes him away.
Show some respect. Kiara said to stay away from her.
And who are you?
Her boyfriend.
Oh my god, did he just say that?
Sorry, Kiara. About earlier, I must have made you uncomfortable.
Before I even realized it, I found myself kissing him. Maybe at that time I thought, if not now, then never. I like you, Carter. Wow, did I just say that?
Yes. I like you too, Kiara.
And we kissed again.
What? Study abroad? No way! I haven't even applied yet.
That Daisy, she really spooked me.
You'd be the first to know important stuff like that. I got those straight A's thanks to you.
Thought you could do that with your eyes closed. It was all part of your plan.
There was only Robert in your eyes all the time.
Are you jealous? That's my first successful love story. I'm grateful that I finally decided to be true to myself, so I don't have to live with any regrets. What about you? That's so not fair! I swear I'll smack you one!
Just a kid and already acting all lovey-dovey. Mom, today she actually confessed to her boyfriend at the school gate.
Better than you crushing on your classmate not having the guts to say it! Come here, everyone. You were very brave today, little lady. Not like someone.
I'll tell her. Just waiting for the right time.
I'm not talking about you. I mean myself. Sit down. There's something you need to know. Hello, I'm Aspen, and I have a super interesting first love story to share with you. But first, don't forget to like and subscribe to MDA. My dad was a skilled jeweler, and the jewelry he crafted brought thousands of dollars into our family. We lived in the biggest mansion in the city back then. Life was pretty awesome, except for my twin brothers. They were cute, but so annoying. They never stopped teasing me every day. They'd fight over dolls with me and drag them into their silly race cars. One day, while playing alone in the yard when my brothers were at school, I accidentally let my favorite ball roll out into the street. No matter what I did, I couldn't reach it.
Don't worry, I'll get it for you.
Finally, someone kind. But when I looked up, I realized it was the neighborhood's notorious troublemakers.
Want this back, huh?
I just nodded, scared.
Dream on, sweetie.
I sadly watched as my favorite ball was now in the hands of those kids.
Ouch! Who was that? Give her the ball back. What if I don't? Ouch! Okay, fine. Here you go. Blah! No way!
The fat kid ran off with his buddies, but the slingshot kid was faster.
That's not how nice kids act. Here you go, Aspen. I'm Vinny.
He knew my name. He was the coolest kid I've ever met. From that day, Vinny and I often met up, despite being separated by a towering iron fence. He liked canned lemonade. He said it was like nectar from heaven.
My family can't afford it. I've dreamt of trying it for so long.
If you like it, I'll bring you some every day. My dad buys tons of it.
Then in return, I'll bring you lots of our toys.
Those were simple homemade toys, but they made us laugh all afternoon.
What are you doing with that homeless kid? Get lost before I call the butler to kick you out!
Vinny was silent until I whispered, "Just go. I'll see you later." Then he reluctantly ran off. Watching a small figure disappear down the road, I started to tear up. Why do they have to be like that?
That poor kid isn't allowed to play with us. That's it.
But he's my friend. You can't stop us from playing together. But in the days that followed, my brothers firmly prevented our meetups. Until one afternoon, while my brothers and I were on our way home, we saw a group of kids playing soccer joyfully in an empty lot.
Look, the rich kids. Wanna play? Looks fun, actually. Huh, but you don't belong here. You guys are nothing without your rich parents.
My brothers were annoyed, but couldn't do much. Just then, Vinny walked up, making the teasing kids quickly quiet down. He then led us into the field, and their resistance was feeble. But soon enough, being kids, we had the most fun soccer game ever. So they started liking Vinny after that, right? Yes, from then on, we became an even tighter foursome than anything else. When I was 15, my brothers went to study abroad. My parents wanted me to go with them, but I didn't want to, because he was still here. I knew I liked him, but I wasn't sure if he felt the same. That day, my family was returning home after attending a grand party. Our car broke down, forcing us to walk through a small market. Suddenly, a poor man came running out of nowhere and bumped into my mom, causing her purse to fall to the ground.
I'm sorry, ma'am. I'm so sorry.
In less than a second, he disappeared into the crowd.
Let's get out of here. It's filthy and smelly.
My necklace! It's gone!
Damn it!
That man staged the whole thing to steal my mom's diamond necklace. My dad, furious, clenched his fists and turned around to track him down. The thief was fast and soon out of sight. We finally spotted him at the end of the market talking to someone. It was Vinny. He was holding my mom's necklace.
What's going on here?
My dad shouted as he marched over to Vinny and grabbed his collar.
Sir, please, let me explain.
Before Vinny could finish, my dad threw a punch, knocking him to the ground. My mom and I screamed in horror, rushing over to try and stop the chaos. Stop it! Dad, stop! He's not a thief! I believed in him no matter what. When the commotion settled down, my parents finally understood that Vinny was indeed just trying to retrieve the necklace. My mom felt guilty, but my dad still seemed upset. We're sorry, young man. Did you two know each other from before? If my dad knew I hung out with people from lower social classes, he might lose his mind. So I denied it. No, just met him once before. God, we had been friends for 10 years and I even had a crush on him. That lie made me feel incredibly guilty. If you want, come work at our house. We could really use someone as honest as you.
No.
I looked at Vinny in surprise. Didn't he want to be near me? After a few seconds of hesitation, he finally nodded. Yay! Now we would see each other every day. He was handy and extremely hardworking. After finishing his chores, he even helped my dad with other tasks. Many times we had intimate moments, but still, neither of us dared to express our feelings. Eventually, my dad noticed our closeness, called me into his office, and interrogated me severely.
I expect you to love and marry someone of our class. You are the daughter of one of the richest families in the city.
I understand, Dad.
Be clear. Do you have feelings for that boy, Vinny?
My heart skipped a beat when he mentioned his name, and like any kid caught in the act, I denied it. Never. He's poor. He's not right for me. That was the second lie. It felt like 1,000 knives stabbing my heart, but it satisfied my dad. Then I heard a noise outside the door and the sound of footsteps running away. I rushed outside, but there was no one there.
Don't tell me Vinny heard all that.
Yes, I found out later because after that, I never saw him again. When I turned 25, memories of my childhood friend Vinny had faded with time. By then, my father introduced me to a wealthy local man. I happily agreed. We had a passionate relationship that anyone who has been young and in love has experienced, followed by arguments, and then we broke up. After that relationship ended, I decided to move to another city. Among the few things I took with me were the toys Vinny had given me as a child. Despite the years, I kept them as a reminder of that innocent affection. One day, while sitting on the windowsill, idly watching people below, I suddenly saw a face that seemed familiar. My heart missed a beat, and without thinking, I ran down to the street, hoping it was Vinny. But as I got closer, the figure disappeared into the crowd. For many days, I waited at the same spot, hoping to see that familiar figure again. And then he did appear. This time, I was sure it was Vinny. But he was holding hands with another woman, their faces filled with happiness and love. Oh no.
Did Mom ever go looking for Vinny? What was that woman like?
Those are questions that made me think. I even wonder what would have happened if I had been brave enough to admit my feelings back then. In the end, I decided not to go looking for him. Life sure has a way of playing tricks on people. One evening, I suddenly remembered the canned lemonade from years ago and wanted to taste it once more. But no matter how hard I looked, I couldn't find it anywhere. That drink was out of fashion and no stores carried it anymore. Almost giving up, as I turned into a street corner, my eyes fell on an empty can next to a trash bin. That's it! Next to it was a grocery store, and I happily stepped in, hoping to find my childhood drink. Finally found you! I approached the cashier, rummaging through my purse.
Aspen?
That call made me freeze, a lump forming in my throat. This unexpected reunion was something I never imagined. Standing before me was Vinny, someone special I had lost touch with for over 10 years.
How have you been?
I couldn't help hoping Vinny would say that woman the other day was just a sister, a regular friend of his.
I got married.
An indescribable feeling overwhelmed me. Despite mentally preparing myself, It felt like I had just been hit by a wrecking ball.
I now own a little grocery store. And hey, I'm producing it myself. I can give you a can every day now.
I'm happy for you. I smiled, happy that Vinny was leading a truly happy life, and also happy for myself as I was ready to move on. So in the end, Mom didn't ask Vinny if he had feelings for her? It doesn't really matter anymore.
Mom's first love sounds like a novel.
First love is always wonderfully beautiful. So, if you guys ever have feelings for someone, be brave and speak up. Does Dad know about it? Of course not. Let's keep it our secret.
Ari! We've been waiting for you!
Ari, I can die for you!
Ari! Ah! I just got back from a 3-day tour in Dubai, and now my exhausted body was about to have some pampering in the fanciest hotel in New York. I knew at that moment, down in the hotel lobby, lots of my fans were screaming to see me, but I was very tired and just wanted some relaxing time to myself. Hi, I'm Ariana. Is she Ariana Grande? I think so. No, I'm not Ariana Grande. She's actually my idol. Out of admiration for her, I did everything like her, from the ponytail to the dress style. But the name was really coincidental. I was glad we were both famous singers, although sometimes I get caught up in ironic situations. Anyways, I love my job, my career, love the spotlight on stage, because I worked so hard to achieve success today. Before I continue, please like and subscribe. Love you all. Oh, don't forget to hit this little bell. 2 months ago, I shot my first commercial, which put my name on the map. I became famous in 1 click. That video went viral on social media. You can see my face in restaurants, hair salons, or on big posters at the mall. I'm everywhere. She's so pretty!
Yeah, like an angel.
You know, the fame brought a lot of trouble. I got caught up in dating rumors with some guys that I've never met in real life. I don't know how to say it, but just because we've checked in at the same place, I hate his shiny hair and the way he swaggers with a glass of red wine in his hand. I heard people say that he only attended night events and always came home to a different girl after events. Is he a vampire? And those girls were his victims? Anyone, don't be this guy. After the dating rumors with Henry, I was more sought after by the paparazzi. It was so scary that my parents had to hire a bodyguard to follow me 24/7. You can call him Brian. He is 5 years older than me. My parents were probably the biggest beneficiaries of my fame. My family became rich from my bookings and fees. How could I say? They went from rags to riches overnight.
Contracts from famous bands come rushing in. Our Ari is a treasure.
We're so proud of you. It's not easy to bring you up, but not in vain. They didn't care too much about me. They just seemed to care about how much money I made. It's so sad that they're not someone I can talk to. My family started attending luxurious parties. There are movie stars, actors, and even tycoons I can only see on TV before.
Who's this?
Huh?
The most sought-after singer right now? Her fee for a show must be up to, let me guess, nearly $1 million? Come on, Blake. Miss Gamber is not someone that you can joke with. Hi, forgive my friend. I'm Henry Carrington. Nice to meet you. I'm honored to meet the only son of the Carrington family. Luxury and nobility.
You two get along well. Seems like born to be a couple. Mom, what are you talking about?
Oh, so this flower does not belong to anyone yet. It would be great if... Will you dance with me?
As I hesitated, my mother placed my hand on Henry's. Very quickly, he wrapped his arms around my waist and pulled me close. When our faces were only inches apart, he closed his eyes. Oh no. No, I don't want to kiss him right now. We've only known each other for less than 5 minutes.
Your smell. Cherry blossoms?
Before I could say anything, he started sneezing continuously.
I'm allergic to the smell of cherry blossoms.
Oops. Who knew? You got what you deserved. Cherry blossom is my favorite flower, and on top of that, the man I love also loves the smell of cherry blossoms. I'm so sorry for hiding it from you guys, but I found it very difficult to tell. This is a secret, and please, don't tell anyone. Me and Brian, the cold-faced bodyguard, we're actually a couple. Shh! No one knows about this. We've been dating for over a year. Yeah, a secret relationship. But why?
It's all for your reputation and for your family.
You know, my fans definitely wouldn't accept this. A famous singer falling in love with a bodyguard? But I really didn't care much. I've tried to make our relationship public many times, but Brian has stopped me. I'm just afraid he'll suffer a lot because of this secret. And about Henry, ever since the night we danced at the party, he'd been determined to flirt with me. My parents abetted him to do it. It made me furious. Henry will make our family richer than ever. What's hotter news than the famous singer Ariana Gamber began dating the sole heir Henry of Carrington Group? I can even imagine the faces of the paparazzi and their shapes hiding behind the trees wherever I go.
He will be the one to support your career.
But Dad, I don't have feelings for him. He even looks like a vampire.
Come on, Ari. A lot of celebrities just pretend to date to be famous.
But I don't want to.
You have to, Ari. You must do that.
I peeked at Brian, his face expressionless. I didn't know if he was looking at me behind those dark glasses. Is he jealous or worried about his girlfriend? I really didn't know. And in that way, Henry and I became a couple, held hands and smiled before the cameras, and even had dates outside so the paparazzi could capture every moment. The fake dates? Perhaps it's just me who thought so. Because Henry enjoyed spending time with me. He could do everything to make me laugh. He smiled brightly as we walked hand in hand on the Walk of Fame. And Brian, he still follows me everywhere, even when I was on dates with Henry. One day, Henry and I attended a party together in France. There were the presence of many big Hollywood bosses, singers, and actors.
My father is the host of this party. I'll take you to see him when the party ends.
Is it too early to do that?
What? No, I thought it was time.
I didn't answer Henry. I just didn't expect it to go this far. In the middle of the party, Henry winked at me and headed for the podium.
Ladies and gentlemen, first of all, let me say thank you for having me in today. Me, the only son of Mr. Carrington. As you all know, Miss Gamber and I have been dating for a long enough time, and today I want to announce an important decision.
Oh no. No. Was he going to say what I was afraid of?
Ariana, will you marry me?
All eyes were on me, and then there was applause and cheers here and there. I was still in shock. Someone help me. I had never been put in such an awkward situation like this before. This guy looks so cute. Look at his toned body. You don't look like a bodyguard. You look like a future boyfriend. Maybe I'll lower my standards to hang out with him for a while. I saw two girls flirting with my Brian. Their dirty hands were on his chest. I felt like the fire inside of me was about to destroy this party. He's mine! Once again, everyone's eyes turned to me. Rumors began to spread among the crowd. What the hell did you say, Ari? Who could save you this time? I mean, he is my bodyguard.
Ari?
Henry, it's too abrupt. I need time to think. I'm sorry. I said, then quickly ran out. I rushed into a random taxi on the street and asked them to leave immediately. My emotions were extremely chaotic. I knew I hurt both boys at the same time. When I stopped by the bridge, Brian was already there. He is always the one who understands me best. When I'm sad, I did come here to escape. Brian, I
don't blame you. It's not your fault.
I still want to say sorry.
Now, follow me. But before that...
No, Brian, I don't want to wear these things.
Okay.
We then went to a park, and he taught me how to skateboard. Looking at how Brian carefully put the protective gear on my legs and arms, I was sure I had chosen the right person. It was the first time I saw him smiling so happily. In the very next second, The skateboard slipped from under my feet and I went flying backwards. But before my head could hit the ground, Brian caught me.
Are you okay? I'm sorry. It's really not safe for you.
His face was so close to mine, and my heart raced for my one-year boyfriend. Like when we first fell in love. I wrapped my arms around his neck and we kissed, right in the park. I knew it was going to happen. My phone started vibrating constantly because of incoming calls and texts from my parents. Ari, where are you?
We are very disappointed in you. How dare you do that? What a disgrace.
Pictures of Brian and me kissing immediately made the front pages of all the newspapers. I powered off my phone and put it back in my pocket. I looked over at Brian. He was very confused. That was when I decided to hold a press conference tomorrow. When the car stopped in front of the mansion, I pondered for a long time. Did I really need this career, or should I live for myself? Phew. Okay. When my parents saw me, they immediately got angry. But I didn't care. I went straight to my room and slammed the door shut. I needed alone time. The next morning, I woke up to a knock on the door.
We need to talk.
I know, Mom. You're right. It wasn't good for me, and I made a bad decision. I'll correct my mistake at the press conference. I got out of bed and walked into the bathroom. I showered, brushed my teeth, and combed my hair. I sat at the dresser and took my favorite dress. You don't need to drive me today. You can take another car.
Yes, ma'am.
When I got out of the car, everyone turned towards me. I've been used to Flash for a long time, but this time they seemed to give Brian more attention than me. After today, it would all be over. When I got inside, I saw Henry. I had to apologize to him. Were they a couple? They stood so close that I thought they were glued together.
Cheating a billionaire to love a bodyguard. Why is there such a stupid person in the world?
Watch your mouth.
Henry glanced at me one last time before walking away. Ugh, how could he date a mean girl like her? But I was not mad at Henry. I knew I deserved it. When the event started, I walked up to the podium. The flashlights hit my face, making it hard to see people around. Hello, everyone. Thank you for coming today. I'm Ariana Gamber. I want to say a special thank you to the fans worldwide who have supported me all this time. Mom, Dad, no matter what you did, I still want to say thank you. Henry, thank you. As you all know, Brian and I are in a relationship. We have been in love for over a year and have kept this secret from the media and my whole family. It's so sad, right? But anyways, any other girl in this world deserves to love and be loved. I didn't care what people will say or write about us after today because me, Ariana Gamber, I am formally announcing my retirement as a singer.
What a stupid girl.
My parents were about to rush to the stage, but the journalists and reporters were faster than them. The auditorium immediately became chaotic. As I didn't know how to get out, a black shadow rushed towards me. It was Brian. Brian hugged me like he was willing to protect me from the crazy world out there. And we kissed under the spotlight. I gave up the career I had built over the years to pursue the great love of my life. If you were me, would you do the same? That day was the basketball final game between New Jersey High School and Marist High School. Where is he? Oh, there he is! That guy in red with that sunny smile. He's Jin. I've been having a big crush on him for 10 years. That decisive move and that concentrating expression. He must be the dream guy of tons of girls. Suddenly, I noticed that my best friend was also dumbfounded looking at the court. Pia? Pia? Huh? What you looking at? Oh, Harry is waving at you. Do you like him? He's Jin's comrade. Cut it out. It's time for our performance. We stepped to the court and started to do the halftime performance. I know! I look just like Jenny at Coachella. Jin would definitely be captivated by my beauty. What was that? OMG! Gee, Caitlin, I'm so sorry. Jeez, because of that stage accident, I had become a clown to everyone. I wished it didn't give Jin a bad impression. Booyah, audience of My Diary Animated. I'm Caitlin. I've been into Jin for 10 years now. And now, it's even greater when my best friend Pia likes Jin's best friend Harry. It would be freaking cool if we had a double date. Back in the day when Jin and I were 7, Jin was the only nice boy who helped me out. That day, when I was at school, I accidentally sat on a bunch of chocolate bars on the bench and everyone was laughing at me.
Do you guys smell something?
Do you guys smell anything? Ew. Oh my sweet lord, I was embarrassed, trying to find a place to hide. Then suddenly, a hand put a shirt on to cover me.
Don't worry, I'll cover up for you.
Since that moment, I couldn't get rid of my thoughts and feelings about that boy. Gradually, we grew up and went to high school together. I had shown my feelings to him many times, but I had no idea if he felt the same. Sometimes he gave me this romantic look, and sometimes he just kept distance from me and ignored me. This time, I just want to come clean with him. As being my only high school friend, Pia knew how much I'd been into Jin. You're falling in too deep. And because she had feelings for Harry, who was Jin's teammate, we together made a plan to approach our crushes. That day, our school held an outdoor camping. The students would make a group of 2 and help with setting up the camp. Pia was one of the organizers, so I asked her to arrange the names in the box. Did you check the draw box yet? Of course. You will be with Jin and I'll be with Harry, just like you wanted. Oh God, I'm so excited! I can't wait to see the result. Yes, I'll definitely be in the same team as Jin. Pia was slowly walking on stage in the pink dress and I was so over the moon to hear her say, Team 3, we will put 2 people in one group. And the order is, Oliver and Time will be in charge of water, Hannah and Pete will help with unpacking, Caitlin and... Come on, finish the line, Pia! And Harry will find woods for the fire. Jin and I will set up the camp. What? How is that possible? Obviously, we had a great plan for this. After teaming up, I ran to Pia to ask her what happened. She seemed to be surprised by the result too. It seemed that the coach rearranged the list. I didn't want this to happen. Oh no, because of this unexpected incident, we had to swap to the wrong group. So Harry and I would go into the woods, and Jin and Pia stayed to set up the camp. I guess this is gonna be very awkward. And just as I expected, Harry looked quite introverted and mysterious. His eyes looked so sad. He must be disappointed to have to work with someone like me. I was disappointed too. But now I'm not only disappointed, but I also feel heavy. Ouch. Suddenly a hand reached for my backpack and put it on his shoulder. Hey, you don't need to carry it for me.
It's too heavy for you. Can you not see it?
But what about yours?
What about me? I can carry you too.
Jesus, what was he saying? If Pia saw this, she would misunderstand everything. So I tried to get my backpack back. Give it back to me. I don't need your help.
Hey, be careful.
Ah! Oh no! I lost my balance and slipped, then fell to the ground. The fall caused me so much pain that I couldn't get up on my own. Right then, a snake slithered toward me. Still, I couldn't get up because my ankle was broken. Ah! Help!
Shoo! Shoo! Go away, snake!
Phew! Lucky me. I almost got bit by that snake. Harry suddenly grabbed my shoulder.
You okay? Are you hurt?
I'm fine. I think I broke my ankle. Harry didn't let me finish. He unzipped my bag to find the first aid kit. God, there was full of useless items in it. Why are you laughing?
You brought a fire extinguisher instead of a bandage?
What if there was a fire? He made fun of me. He must think I'm an idiot. Right then, Harry tore part of his shirt and wrapped it around my injury. Ouch! What are you doing? Harry gave me a piggyback carry. My leg hurt so bad. There was no way to make him stop. I was really confused because he was warmer than I thought. He made me laugh all the way back to the camp. I realized that we shared quite a lot of things in common. I wasn't scared of darkness when I was with him. Then the light in the distance came, and I realized my best friend's voice. Caitlin? Harry? Where are you? Oh no! If she saw us like this, her heart would be broken! So I struggled and tried to push Harry away. Ouch! We both fell to the ground and they had to help us up. Caitlin, are you alright? What I did had caused Harry a minor injury, and I felt really guilty about that. After being brought back to the camp, I started to wonder why Pia didn't ask me about Harry, while I was really curious about her and Jin. So I slowly walked to Jin's camp. I saw Pia and Jin talking about fixing the camp. They looked so excited, and it made me irritated even though I knew there was nothing between them. I waited until they passed by, then pretended to trip and fall into Jin's arms. Hold up! On his collar was some kind of lipstick mark with a familiar color. Did he have a girlfriend? Right then, Harry came and carried me back to camp in front of Jin and Pia's surprised faces. He looked aggressive with both of them. What's wrong?
If your leg hurts, then sit still.
Why did he want to cause misunderstandings? A few nights later, when I got home, I still couldn't stop thinking about what Harry did. He was romantic and considerate, and his loving eyes were like the way V looked at Jenny. Damn, I should have thought of Jin. Perhaps... No, he is my bestie's crush. I definitely can't do that. That will hurt Pia. After that day, Harry tried to talk to me more in class. When I had trouble with assignments in class, especially physics exercises, he was always there to help. We had to make a pasta bridge, and coincidentally, I was paired with Harry in class. Yes, we were in the same group. God, I tried to avoid him, but fate kept putting us in embarrassment. Ugh, why won't this bridge work?
Let me help you.
It worked! See, I can do it without your help. Harry immediately burst out laughing. God, again I looked so stupid in front of him. While I was finding a hole to jump in, Harry suddenly went looking for a broom and cleaned up my pathetic bridge. It's okay. I'll practice more at home. But Harry still worked to rebuild that bridge on his own. Well, it had always been like that. He did more than he talked. In the blink of an eye, his bridge was finished. How could it stand this 3-pound iron ball?
If you don't believe it, then try it.
Oh my gosh, it really worked. I was embarrassed when Harry stopped me and looked me in the eyes.
I have something.
It's late. I have to go home now. I ran out as fast as I could because it was too embarrassing. I told myself never to let something like that happen again. A few weeks later, I decided to invite Group 3 from the camp to go see a movie. But in fact, I only invited 3 of them to have a double date. But guess who is standing in front of my face right now? This movie is about to start. Why hasn't anyone come yet? Oh my gosh, none of them were answering the phone. Suddenly, a message went to my phone. Neither of them could come here. One got stomach aches and one had family problems. So angry, I was about to return home when a hand pulled me into the cinema.
Hurry up! It's late for the movie.
Why are you always doing what you want?
Just sit down.
I had no choice but to sit next to Harry to watch the whole movie. This horror movie terrified me. During the movie, Harry held my hand tightly to help me overcome my fear. Fortunately, it was quite dark in there, so no one saw my face turning red like a ripe tomato. Perhaps I was really into Harry. Suddenly, Harry squeezed my hand.
I like you, Caitlin.
No, that's impossible. I pushed him out and ran away. Harry chased after me while I ran in tears. Ouch! Just now, I bumped into Jin. He was holding hands with another girl. You...
What's the problem? This is my girlfriend.
Harry ran over and hugged me tightly and covered my ears with his hands. He immediately scolded Jin.
She's not your girlfriend either, because he plays with girls' hearts and feelings. And I need to show you this.
Harry showed me pictures of Jin with different girls, and one of them was my bestie Pia. I thought Pia really liked Jim and was fooled around, so I felt pity for her. I decided to find her. Pia, open the door! Open the door! What's going on? I knew what happened between you and Jin. I need to show you this. Hearing that, she immediately pushed her hand away from me, and now I knew the true face of my best friend. I don't care if you knew. Yes, it was true. Just don't stick your nose into ours. It turns out the boy that Pia always loved was Jin, not Harry. Even when we picked teams at the camp, it was also arranged by her. She told me she even had time to flirt with Jin when I was lost in the woods. My trust was betrayed, and she would surely pay for everything she did. This is unbelievable! How could you? If I had to choose between you and Jin, I would definitely choose the boy I loved. Our friendship is not even that important to me. I was shocked by her cruel words. She had shown me how my kindness was reciprocated, and she must pay the price. I was going to tell you something important, but, well, I guess I'm done caring about a terrible and mean person like you. Good luck with your stupid love. After that day, I blocked Jin and Pia. From now on, I could confidently pursue the one I truly loved. Harry and I deserved a redundancy. Sometime later, Harry told me that Jin had been kicked out of the basketball team because his terrible personality had negatively affected the team's practice progress. Then I also received an email from an anonymous sender. It was none other than Pia. She apologized for her past mistakes. Jin had dumped her not long after the incident. Of course I would never forgive and let such people back into my life. And you? If it were you, would you do the same as me?
It all started the day my younger sister, Patricia, and I were playing hide and seek in the orphanage's garden. Patricia excitedly yelled, "It's your turn to hide! I'm counting now! 10, 9, 8, 7! Suddenly, it started raining heavily while I was running, so I slipped and fell face down in the mud. Out of nowhere, an elderly woman appeared in front of me and smiled gently. "Time to go home, honey. I'll be your new family." After doing necessary papers, the woman adopted me and we both got into her car. Patricia saw that and ran after the car in panic. She kept running and screaming my name, then tripped painfully on a rock. Both of us burst into tears. "Hiya, I'm Grace, 17 years old. I have a sister, Patricia, who's 1 year younger than me. We were both abandoned by our parents at an orphanage in San Diego. When I was 7 years old, I was adopted by Jennifer, the richest woman in the state of Kansas. She couldn't adopt both of us because at that time, a man had already arranged to adopt Patricia. We still kept in touch until the age of 9, but suddenly, Patricia completely cut off contact with me. I couldn't get any information from the orphanage either, so my foster mom helped me hire a detective to investigate. They discovered that she had gone to the Wall Girls boarding school in Missouri. When I asked my mom to let me apply to that school to find my younger sister, she immediately agreed. And just like that, I transferred to Wall boarding school, a very old school with outdated facilities. When I first arrived, I checked in at the dormitory. I looked for my sister's name on the room list, but she wasn't there. So strange. Suddenly, I bumped my head into Lorelai's, a cold tomboy, when she suddenly walked out from the girls' restroom. Both of us fell to the ground as a lump swelled up in the middle of our foreheads. "Hey, watch your step! Don't be rude, you also bumped into me!" Lorelai stared at me annoyedly. She stood up, walked past me, and even deliberately stepped on my matching necklace with Patricia. "Hey, it's my necklace!" I swore I'd never be friends with a meanie like her. Yet, ironically, she and I became roommates. Another roommate we had was Ariana, a pretty girl who was 1 year younger than me. In stark contrast with Lorelai, Ariana was neat, polite, and gentle. Everything was fine until I introduced my family name, which was well known for being wealthy. From that on, Lorelai constantly criticized me as an incompetent snob and tried all kinds of tricks to bring me down. Once in class, she repeatedly shot paper rocks at my back with a slingshot. Loser. Useless. Parasite. Anyone have questions about today's lesson? Without noticing the teacher, I angrily barked at Lorelai. "Just shut up and stop your crap, okay?" After that, I was punished for being rude to the teacher. Not only that, once in the reading room, Lorelai poured a glass of water straight down on my MacBook. Are you nuts? Oops, I thought a $3,000 laptop would be water resistant. You crazy jerk! We started clawing each other right in the room, and Ariana had to cut in to separate us. She took me outside and applied eyes on my face. Thanks, Ariana. You're welcome, but why did you come here, Grace? You can go to a much better school. I confessed I came here to find my lost sister ever since we were separated from a San Diego orphanage. Really? I was an orphan from San Diego too. No way. Could it be Ariana was my sister? I gotta find out the truth. According to the detective's information, there was a fire in the orphanage and my sister had burns on her arm. When Ariana was asleep, I decided to check it. Just as I was about to turn her arm over, my mom called me. I hurriedly ran out of the room to pick up her call. Have you found Patricia yet? I haven't, but I'm thinking it might be my roommate. I'm about to look for the burn scar on her arm. Mom encouraged me and said that when I found Patricia, she'd love to adopt her as well. The next day, Ariana went out very early in the morning and returned late at night. When she got back, she hurriedly showed me half of a necklace that resembled mine. Grace, are you my sister? I was bewildered. I immediately pulled Ariana's arm to check and indeed, there was an old burn scar. Oh my god! After almost 10 years apart, I finally found my sister! I hugged Ariana and promised to make it up to her for the rest of my life. After that, I used my influence to ask the school to arrange for us a more comfortable room. We'd never have to deal with that nasty Lorelai anymore. After that, my sister and I stuck together like glue, but whenever I reminisced about the past, Ariana didn't seem to remember. I guess it had been too long after all. Suddenly one day, she told me, "Sis, I don't want to stay here anymore." I know, let's go back home after this term. Mom said she would adopt you too. In order to go to my original high school, Ariana must get at least 1400 SAT scores. It was too much for her, so she asked me to help her cheat. I've never cheated before. But there's a first time for everything, right? But this isn't right. I tore up Ariana's plan, but she grabbed my shoulder and cried loudly. That means you don't want to be with me anymore, do you? Ariana was acting so odd. I didn't want my sister to cheat, but for her to come live with me, it was the only way. When the final exam finally came, my sister and I each wore an AirPod. I peeked at Ariana from the window and helped her solve the exam questions. When I was at the fourth one, I suddenly heard Lorelai's voice. Ariana is cheating! She's wearing an AirPod! I looked up to see the teacher furiously walking towards Ariana. Jesus, that crazy and jealous Lorelai never left us alone! At the end of the day, after the teacher had finished scolding my sister, I immediately went to deal with Lorelai. But to my surprise, I saw her and Ariana arguing in the bathroom. What do you want? To expose a fake. She was naive to believe you were Patricia. I was shocked that Lorelai knew my sister's name. She patted Ariana's shoulder with a winning smile. Come on, we both know who the real stuff is. Ariana pushed her away and threw the necklace at her. Fine, take it back. But Grace will never believe a rude jerk like you is her real sister. It turned out that after overhearing the conversation between me and my mom, Ariana immediately knew that Lorelai was my real sister. She had stolen her necklace to fool me. But what about the scar? Was it fake? I immediately ran over to tear off the fake scar on Ariana's arm. You tricked me? Both of them were shocked to see me. Although Ariana knelt down to explain, I only focused on Lorelai and tried to take her hand, but she jammed it away. I won't go back with you, just leave! She was angry because she thought I abandoned her to go after a new family. She got even madder because after that, I kept bragging about how rich my family was while she was mistreated by her adoptive father, but she couldn't tell anyone because he eavesdropped every conversation she had. That's why she cut off contact with me, changed her name, her appearance, and transferred to a faraway boarding school to escape from him. I hate you! Go away! Stupid! Her mom is filthy rich. She has a huge mansion and it could have been mine if you hadn't shown up. Using a fire extinguisher, Ariana immediately knocked Lorelai down with a blow to her back. Before she could hurt my sister any further, I quickly stopped her. We were struggling and thankfully, Lorelai got up and ran over to give me a hand. We opened the fire extinguisher and blasted Ariana directly in the face, causing her to be covered in thick white foam. Finally, Ariana was arrested for intentionally causing injury. After finishing that school year, I returned to my original high school in Kansas. Lorelai and I talked to each other and cleared all of our misunderstandings. With the help from me and my mom, Lorelai's adoptive father was arrested for child abuse and she has come to live with us.
When we were having fun on our way to the beautiful beach of East Hampton, suddenly my bestie Elisa slammed on the brakes, causing us to fall forward. Turns out my family's car was blocking our way. Mom got out in panic. Elisa, do you have a driver's license? Are you good at driving? How long have you been doing it? Mom! After checking all of my bestie's papers, she finally allowed us to go. Okay, have fun, kids. We blasted the music out loud and quickly continued our way. Suddenly, Mom appeared again and honked at us from behind. Wait, Lucinda, you forgot your float. Ugh! My mom always treated me like a baby. Peekaboo! Hi, I'm Lucinda, 19 years old. I'm the only child of a rich family. My dad is a businessman and my mom is a housewife who also a heavenly chef. As you can see, they were extremely overprotective of me. Unlike my friends who were allowed to live on their own right after their 18th birthday, I was demanded to stay with my parents because they said that the world was full of dangers, and I wasn't ready for it. It was absurd. So on my 19th birthday, when everyone was having a good time, I abruptly turned off the music and stood on the center table to make my point clearly. Ahem! Listen, everybody! This year, my birthday wish is that I can move out. Absolutely not! You're too naive to live alone. Jeez! Feeling unfair and humiliated, I decided to just run away from home. That night, I hid my pillows under the blanket to fool them into thinking I was still in my room. After climbing out from the balcony, I climbed over the fence, but unfortunately, I fell hard to the ground. It was painful, but my desire for freedom was greater, so I still ran away from my house. When I was far enough, I started thinking about what I should do for a living. Maybe a barista. Without wasting a second, I applied to a coffee shop. At first, the work was smooth and I learned my role easily. But not long after, I was framed by a mean colleague for stealing money, which made me fired. Okay, fine, maybe I just had bad luck. How about trying as a tutor next? I quickly applied to work as a private tutor for a well-off family. Their first floor was a Chinese restaurant, and the owner's family lived on the upper floor. However, they turned me down because I didn't have enough teaching experience. When I was sent home, I accidentally bumped into a chef on the first floor. Watch out! His bowl of soup fell to the ground and I panicked because it burned the young chef. Jesus, are you blind? I'm sorry, let me pay for it. But little did I know, it was a bowl of beluga caviar soup, which cost nearly $3,000. And I don't have that much money. The chef suddenly said, "You can work here to pay off the debt. We're short-staffed anyway." It was a good idea. I could have a job and didn't need to ask my parents for money to pay for that bowl of soup. It was how I became a kitchen assistant at a Chinese restaurant. On my first day of work, I realized that my direct supervisor was Will, the same chef that I bumped into. He was an extremely strict person who would scold anyone who was incompetent at work. Once, he let the staff try the new noodles he made, and everyone got nothing but compliments for him. Curious, I also got a taste of it and found it yummy indeed, but not as good as my mom's noodles. Suddenly, Will came to me. I got startled and bumped into the stack of bowls that sat right behind me and broke all of them. My goodness, can you be more useless? Get lost. He furiously demanded to fire me and made me pay the debt immediately. I angrily shouted back, "Fine! I don't want to work for such a bad cook anyway. Your noodles suck without anise and cinnamon." Will widened his eyes, then strangely he smiled. Turns out I was the only one who noticed that. After that day, not only was I not fired, he also let me participate in the cooking sometimes. A month later, there was a chef competition. He even invited me to join him and expressed clearly that he had very high expectations for this contest. But honestly, it made me more afraid that I would mess it up, so I quickly refused. No thanks. I'll double your salary. Being a sucker for money, I agreed. From that day on, I often stayed late behind to practice cooking under Will's instructions. We started becoming closer and closer. One day we were in the kitchen when we heard a loud crash. Stepping out, we discovered a guest had rudely used his foot to knock the bowl of noodles off the table. You left the house just to do this crap? It was Will's brother. He came there just to insult his brother. I was about to give that bastard a lesson, but Will stopped me. What do you want? Let's make a bet. Whoever loses the upcoming cooking contest must quit being a chef. To that ludicrous challenge, Will agreed. His brother obnoxiously threw the whole table and left the bar. Honestly, nobody would want to lose to such a jerk, so we were determined to give it our all. However, there were only 2 weeks left until the contest, but troubles kept getting in our way. One day, when I helped the waiter deliver the food to our customers, suddenly I saw my parents. After many days, they finally found my whereabouts. Mom pulled me out of the restaurant, while Will ran after me, but my dad pushed him to the ground. "Don't ever appear in front of my daughter again." Once again, I was kept inside the house. No matter how much I begged, my parents wouldn't let me out. I even had to hide my cooking uniform for fear they would destroy it. Opening the closet door, I saw a picture of my parents and a young boy. Curious, I took the photo down to ask my dad and heard his story. "He's your brother. Your mom used to be a chef, you know. Once she took him to a restaurant, but unfortunately when she was away, the gas cylinder exploded and..." Mom and Dad had never talked about this before to me. Maybe it was too painful to be reminded of such an event. Was that the reason they were always so protective of me? I had no idea. As soon as I heard about it, I looked for my mom to comfort her. That explosion wasn't her fault. Then I showed her the first money I had made. "I'll definitely become a chef to make you and my brother proud." Finally, Mom was convinced and allowed me to participate in the cooking competition. When the day of the competition came, I excitedly arrived at the cooking site and hugged Will happily. We put our badges on and smiled at each other. Go big or go home. The opponent was none other than Will's dad and his brother. When the contest began, we started to prepare the seasoning. However, the moment I lifted the knife, the blade fell to the ground. I swear I could hear Will's brother laughing. It seemed like he fouled us. When I hurriedly searched for another knife, suddenly my mom rushed onto the stage and handed me a set of knives with her name engraved on them. "Mom? Take these and show them what you're made of, sweetie." I hugged her and continued to cook. After we had finished the dish, we brought it to the judges, but Will's brother tripped me and sent the bowl of noodles flying into the sky. But with the reflexes of Spider-Man, I quickly grabbed the bowl and caught all the noodles in one go, which made the audience go wild. The jury was also impressed with both my performance and our noodles, and without a doubt, we won in the end. Will's brother was furious, but he had to keep the other end of the deal. After that, my parents hugged me happily, and all of a sudden, Will gave me a not-so-subtle kiss, which made my dad burn with rage. Hee hee hee.
When I was lying in bed, my sister suddenly spilled a bottle of milk and cereal on me. What the heck are you doing? Although I was screaming, she still live streamed the whole scene. Follow my channel to see more videos of me trolling my sister. You'll pay for this! After saying that, I immediately beat her up. And so, our fight scene was broadcast live online. Hi, I'm Peach. 2 years ago, my sister Sika and I founded a YouTube channel called Carney Sisters to share tips about fashion and beauty. I took charge of filming and coming up with ideas. Sika was the one who appeared on the screen. At first, everything went very well. Our channel grew extremely fast. But then things started to change when Sika wanted to make more money by taking ads from unknown cosmetic brands and performing stupid challenges to attract viewers. I wasn't happy with that at all. We ended up quarreling all the time. After learning that Sika and I had a fight in a live stream, my parents were furious. Dad even cancelled my trip with my friends and didn't allow me to use the internet for a while. Not only that, that fighting video became a hot topic at our school. We were constantly made fun of. The scene when I pulled my sister's hair even became the most used meme for weeks afterward. And what's worse is my scholarship application was badly affected. The university I applied for felt concerned after seeing my fight video. They wanted more time to evaluate me. Contrary to how tragic it was to me, Sika enjoyed it as a victory. She gloated every time someone commented or shared that video. Stop being stupid, Sika. You are stupid. The success of our channel is based on my popularity. A loser like you can't contribute anything. We realized that we couldn't work with each other anymore. However, we also didn't want the other to have that channel. Finally, after a heated argument, Sika made a proposal. Fine, if you prove yourself better than me, I'll give you that channel. How? I'll choose the most unattractive guy in school to be your partner. With your fashion sense, you must both become the king and queen at the school prom. Furious, I quickly agreed to that. We also signed a contract together as evidence. The next morning, Sika and I sat in the cafeteria and searched for the most unattractive guy. After listing all the names, she finally pointed to the corner of the room where a guy with a cranky face and sloppy clothes was sitting. Perfect! He'll be your partner! No way! I knew him. That's Beavis, an antisocial guy who was always scowling and annoyed, and his fashion sense sucks, making him king? Ugh. I tried to convince Sika to change her mind, but she refused. Then say goodbye to the YouTube channel. Although I knew that making Beavis the prom king was impossible, I couldn't let my sister have the YouTube channel that I built so hard. Therefore, I must try my best. At lunchtime that day, I put on a beautiful outfit and approached Beavis as friendly as possible. Hi, Beavis. Can I sit with—
Nope.
What?
Can't hear well, doll. I have no reason to talk to you.
He casually took the tray a foot and left. What? So rude. My cheeks flushed with anger and I immediately chased after him to give him a piece of my mind. But suddenly, Sika, who was sitting near there, tripped me. My whole body fell forward just as Beavis turned around and his whole tray of food fell on top of me. Everyone in the cafeteria burst into laughter when they saw that scene. I helplessly looked at Beavis, asking for help, but he just raised his eyebrows slightly in surprise. In the end, he just coldly left. The next day, I secretly followed Beavis to know what kind of person he really is. After a while of walking on the streets, he suddenly entered the hospital. Out of curiosity, I followed. However, when I got to the ward, the receptionist kept me because visiting hours were over. Quickly, I snuck inside a changing room nearby, put on a janitor's uniform, and easily entered the ward. While I was searching, a male nurse called me.
You! Come here quickly. I need a janitor urgently.
Oh, I had no choice but to follow him. He led me into a room where a little girl was screaming and throwing food everywhere. Unfortunately, the nurse left soon after because of an emergency, leaving me alone with that girl. Come on, kiddo. Anger doesn't solve anything. Do you want to talk it out? I don't want to continue treatment anymore. It makes me lose my hair. I'm ugly. The little girl kept screaming and crying. Feeling bad for her, I lifted my shirt up, showing her the scar on my stomach. It's the result of a surgery. Even though it's ugly, I love it. The scar reminded me of how strong I was. Don't worry, kiddo. Your hair will grow back. After a while, she finally calmed down. Calling herself Sunny, she told me that she had lung cancer. A few months ago, her condition worsened and she was admitted to the hospital. We were having a nice chat when suddenly, Beavis appeared. Turns out, Sunny is his sister. After taking her away, Beavis and I sat down together. He shyly spoke up. Thanks for helping my sister. Then he started sharing his story. His dad died in an accident a few years ago, and his sister became terminally ill. As bad things kept happening, he began to lose faith in life and became hostile to everyone. As I understood more about Beavis, I realized he wasn't as mean as he looked. Since then, Beavis and I have talked more and become closer. I really want his life to get better. I asked Sika to end the contract, but she refused and even called me a loser. Furiously, I told her, "Fine, you'll see." That day, I decided to help Beavis change his gloomy look. After Sunny and I worked together to persuade him, he finally agreed. We went shopping together and tried on many clothes. Unexpectedly, Beavis has cute sides too. Later that day, on our way home, he shyly asked, "Do you want to go to the prom with me?" Needless to say, I agreed. That day, I couldn't stop thinking about him. On the day of the prom, just as I expected, the principal stood on the stage and named Beavis and I the king and queen of this year's prom. Before I could share that joy with him, he suddenly looked coldly at me.
So now I'm useless to you, right?
What?
You don't have to pretend anymore.
Yesterday, Sika told me about your contract, using me to achieve your goal. Are you happy? Even though I tried to explain, Beavis just left with disappointment. I know I should have been happy to get the channel back from my sister, but what happened to Beavis left me devastated. I had hurt him. Right after that, I went to see Sika.
You won! The YouTube channel is yours! I don't need it anymore! What I need are my loved ones! And of course, that includes you! I sighed and left. Sika was utterly surprised. In the days that followed, I locked myself in my room and contacted no one. What just happened made me feel so depressed. But then one morning, I unexpectedly saw Beavis standing in front of my house. Hi, I'm Beavis. Can we get to know each other? Beavis said as he extended his hand towards me. What are you doing? I was surprised, but he just smiled. We got off to a bad start. Do you want to start over? As it turned out, Sika felt apologetic, so she looked for Beavis to explain everything and convinced him to make up with me. After knowing the truth, Beavis decided to give us a chance to start over. I smiled happily at him. At that moment, all misunderstandings between us were cleared. I'm so glad everything is going well now. Beavis and I have gradually become closer, and Sika has reduced her interest in popularity. We made up with each other and decided that the YouTube channel Carney Sisters would still have both of us. It's great, isn't it?